What does it mean to be an overthinker, and why is it unhealthy? I'm sure you've heard or said these words before. You're thinking too much about this, right? So I wonder if you're someone who constantly obsesses about a certain event, a person or story or upcoming situation and end up feeling really anxious as a result. You see, our mind is an incredible instrument if used rightly. Used wrongly, however, it becomes extremely destructive. The truth is, all of us have engaged in overthinking at some point or another. And being an overthinker doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It simply means that you have allowed your mind to become more destructive than a friendly place to live. So, do you find it hard to shut off your brain at any given moment? It just constantly runs and runs and runs, right? So to counteract overthinking, I will teach you techniques that will be effective in learning how to overcome overthinking. Because overthinking or rumination is a very unhealthy pattern of thoughts where we are constantly thinking about something that happened in the past to a point where we start seeing the negative effects of those emotions on our well-being and overall health. When we ruminate or overthink or overanalyze or obsess about a situation or life events such as work, relationships, and other things, some of us don't realize that we're overthinking and causing the stress in our system, which shows up as symptoms of anxiety. I often tell my clients that rumination is like having a broken tape record in your head, for those of you who know what that even is. And you continue to play the same thing over and over again. And, it's also, I also refer to it as storytelling, but that's something that I want to get into at a later time, as I think storytelling and overthinking share a lot of characteristics, but they're also very different and they're important to understand. Anyway, so how do you know that you're an overthinker? I want you to listen to this entire video as you may discover behaviors in yourself or your loved ones that you didn't recognize in the past. And honestly, recognition is the start of doing differently. So here are 8 common signs. Number 1 is insomnia, and it's a common occurrence in your sleep pattern. So when it's time to relax or unwind, you find yourself thinking the most because there are no distractions around you, and it's you and your thoughts alone. You get stuck in this cycle of replaying scenarios and really trying to reconcile your thoughts until you reach a point where you're paralyzed and are just filled with worry and anxiety. I'm going to provide some tools at the end of this video that's going to be very helpful for you to overcome all of these overthinking challenges. The second sign is that you live in a constant state of worry and anxiety, and you consider it to be a normal part of who you are. That's not how you were born. That's not what you were designed to be. So part of feeling fearful and anxious is because of the illusion of control we have. We think that we can control everything and everyone in our lives, and if we don't, our life is going to fall apart. That's a fear-based thought from the past and not reality. So learn to be flexible rather than letting fear paralyze you into inaction. Third sign is that you have really stiff muscles. Oftentimes when we're stressed, we feel it in our physical bodies, but we tend to overlook the connection between our thoughts and our physical being. So for me, when I'm stressed out about a situation, I tend to feel it in my neck and shoulder area. And that's when I know I've been worrying about something and I need to let go of the thoughts and recognize the thoughts as well that have been causing me soreness. So scan your body and see where your pain exists. It could also be in your stomach. Number 4 is that you are often indecisive. and that's frustrating. You're most likely overthinking every situation, every detail, and your brain ends up getting really tired and you ultimately end up doing nothing at all. Fifth sign to recognize is that you have a hard time letting go. This could mean that you have a hard time letting go of what someone said or did to you that really hurt your feelings, and you keep replaying it in your mind, searching for either solutions, blaming yourself for what happened, or blaming the other person for what happened. This is reliving the past and expecting something different from it. It's important to remember that the past events are only here to teach us and help us grow and not ruminate about. The sixth sign to recognize overthinking is that you second guess yourself a lot. And this is simply disheartening and heartbreaking. So when you live in your head, you end up ignoring your intuition or that inner voice that always knows what's best for you. This is a good time to talk things through with someone who you love and trust, and that way they can help you find that inner voice again. The seventh sign is that you almost immediately get worried when someone doesn't get back to you quickly. So as soon as you send the text message or an email, you expect a quick response from the other person. And if it takes them longer than you expected, you start thinking about the worst case scenarios, right? You think you might have said something wrong or wonder if the person is ignoring you or what else is going on about the situation. Take a deep breath, okay, and think objectively. Don't take it personally. You can't predict someone else's reasoning, right? Lastly, number 8, which is really the most essential part of healing, is that you have a hard time enjoying the present moment. It's a clear sign that you are thinking too much in your head if people around you cannot connect with you emotionally or you cannot connect with them emotionally. Try to live in the moment and open your heart to the wonders that exist in the world around you. So here are some tools that I want to provide to you that I use with my clients as well. And these are just a few of the tools that are extremely effective. So for example, before you go to bed, get a journal and do a brain dump activity. Write out all your worries, your fears, anything you're overthinking about. Don't overanalyze it or rhyme or reason it. Just write it all down on a piece of paper and tell your brain that it shouldn't worry, that you're not going to stop thinking about it, that you're not going to lose your thoughts, that you're just writing it on this piece of paper so you can go to bed with a clear mind to have a deep night's rest. Second, practice deep breathing, because when you're in an anxious mind, you often forget how to breathe and don't send enough oxygen to your brain. And that is why your sympathetic nervous system, I can never say that word, dyslexia, of fight or flight is activated. And so practice deep breathing techniques. Taking a deep breath for a count of 6, hold for a count of 7, and release for a count of 8. Do this about 4 or 5 times, okay? You can also use distraction techniques, which are extremely beneficial for a lot of destructive behavioral patterns. Okay, try these tools, and most importantly, know that it's okay to reach out for help. Okay, don't forget to hit subscribe as I make these videos to really provide guidance and some tools for us to all live a better life. And I usually share these on Tuesdays. Share and like this video so other people can benefit from the information provided as well. Check out my website if you're interested in scheduling a discovery call with me for one-on-one work or to get on the waiting list for the Thriving Woman membership. It's important for us to have a conversation over the phone because I want to make sure that we're connected and we align. Remember to be kind to yourself and others around you.